Hello. Today I have the great pleasure of meeting Dr. Helen Minnis. Dr. Minnis is a professor of child and adolescent psychiatry at the University of Glasgow in Scotland. Dr. Minnis, in this module, we're exploring ways to identify and respond and support children and young people who may have been affected by trauma. But I'd like to ask you, are there reasons that we should be aware of, other than trauma, why children might exhibit problems with self-regulation, for example?
Children who have heritable problems like ADHD or autism are also more likely to have problems with self-regulation and with using their executive functions, so their air traffic control system. And these problems are not caused by trauma. But unfortunately, children who have experienced trauma are more likely to have these heritable problems like ADHD or autism. So, for example, a child with ADHD might, because of their impulsivity, be more likely to fly off the handle. And a child with autism, because of their sensory sensitivities, might be more likely to have meltdowns if they find certain tastes or textures or noises intolerable. And so it's really important that if a child has a history of trauma, that we don't assume that their behaviour problems are entirely caused by the trauma, because there might be other things going on. In fact, there are more likely to be other things going on than in children who haven't experienced trauma. And if we can give those children a good assessment and really understand holistically everything that's going on, then we might want to offer trauma-focused treatments, but we also might want to offer other treatments or other managements, like an autism-friendly approach or treatment for ADHD, for example.
Thank you for providing us with that really helpful and interesting information. So my second question is, why do some children who experience trauma seem to thrive anyway?
That really is the $6 million question. So what's been a bit of a light going on for me over the last few years is work from scientists who have examined what happens across species, including humans. And what they found is that all animals, including humans, are actually physiologically quite good at adapting to stress. So as humans, we tend to adapt physiologically to even quite extreme stresses like abuse and neglect. And sometimes children who've experienced a lot of adversity actually develop hidden talents or skills that stand them in good stead developmentally. So really the big question is why and when some of us, after trauma, stop adapting so well and start developing health problems, and no one knows the answer to this. But there are a lot of research teams across the world really focusing on this. So I think we just have to watch this space and see if we can find out the answer to this really interesting question of why do so many people who've experienced abuse and neglect really do very well?